Hello, my name is Mark Bertman, and I had a stroke about 1 month ago today. Not exactly. Today is May 5th, but on April 8th, I was carrying my iPad and it fell out of my hand. I thought I dropped it because the cover had fallen off and it made it slip out of my hand, but when I bent over to pick it up, my left hand wasn't working. And I subsequently called an ambulance and went to the emergency room where they told me I may have had a TIA or a transient ischemic attack. And my left arm started recovering its use. I still don't smile right. And I left the hospital against medical advice because they said there wasn't anything more they were going to do that night except watch me. So I went home. By the way, I'm a medical doctor. I no longer practice. And if you've heard the rumor that doctors make the worst patients, I am probably a perfect example of that. So that particular night, having regained the use of my hand, I decided I was getting better and I was going to go to work the next day. No longer practicing as a physician, I work in the service department at an auto dealership called Carlock Nissan. And I was determined to get up the next morning and go to work, which I did. I worked that Friday and I worked that Saturday with the stroke initially hitting me on Thursday the 8th, and I seemed to be recovering. But as I worked through the weekend, I could feel the stroke evolving. My hand, my left hand in particular, wasn't functioning as well, but it was getting worse. Even though I regained some function that Thursday night, it was perpetually getting worse. And by the time I woke up Sunday morning, my left arm wasn't really working well. I couldn't do much. It would just stay pretty much like this. Now, the fact I could do this now is a great thing. Today's May the 5th, and 1 week ago, I could not go from this position to this position. But now, I'm slowly able to make the sinus spot, but not real good, not real good. So, I tried to work through it that weekend, and by Monday morning, I went to work. While I was at work, I forgot to close a car door in a car and drove it and hit something with the car door. Luckily, I still had my leg hanging out of the car. I didn't mess up my foot. I could have really injured myself. And I realized something was wrong. I wasn't thinking right. I wasn't acting right. My left arm wasn't working that well. So I was taken to the hospital, where I was admitted and subsequently worked up, where MRIs confirmed that I did have what was a right posterior parietal stroke. And I spent the rest of the week slowly regaining use of my left arm and getting fully worked up. My stroke was attributed to my type 2 diabetes, which was not well controlled. I had a hemoglobin A1C of 9.5. My blood sugar was over 200, sometimes over 300. And we worked through it all. And by the end of the week, I was admitted to inpatient rehabilitation. And like I said, my left arm started getting better. So on Saturday of that week, I was a little frustrated because I wasn't getting worked with as much as I thought I should. And I had actually recovered a lot of my left arm function and thought I should go home. So I left again against medical advice. That Saturday. That date was the 17th of April. So I went home, went out, actually went to Walmart and bought a few things, and went out for Mexican food. Actually had a couple of margaritas and went home feeling pretty good, climbing my stairs in my apartment. And I woke up the next morning about 2 a.m. and my left arm would not move at all. And then I couldn't stay standing when I got up. Here I had walked home from the hospital on Thursday the 8th. Sunday morning, the 11th, Sunday morning the 18th, I was unable to walk myself to the bathroom, and I actually fell off the toilet and hit my head on the bathtub. Called the ambulance again and was taken to the hospital, where I remained for a solid week. I was slowly getting used to my left arm, getting a little bit of therapy here and there. I was trained on how to go up and down stairs, and I was sent to Oxford, Mississippi Baptist Memorial Hospital, where I underwent a week of inpatient physical therapy. And I started getting some function back in my left arm. Before that, I could not get the arm to move at all. Couldn't get it up over my head. Could not even do that for a week. And then I was finally released from inpatient physical therapy Saturday, the 1st of May. Today is the 5th of May, and I'm regaining function. So I want to share my story of stroke rehabilitation and recovery and let you know that within a month it's better. I'm not all the way better. I still got work to do, but I can go from a fist to straightening out my fingers, which I could not do before. My smile is still a little bit droopy, and my intention is to share this story. There are other people out there who share their stories of recovery, and I took a lot from those stories being shared. There's a guy named Bill Gassiamis who shares his story, and I'm like, wow, if I ever recover, I'm going to share it, because I thought I was headed toward a nursing home. But being able to do this, being able to walk, go up and down stairs, not be afraid I'm going to fall, there's always a risk. Being able to grab things with my left hand, that's a big deal. I couldn't do that 2 weeks ago. So there is hope if you have a stroke. There's something called neuroplasticity, which helps your body relearn how to make things work. And that's what I'm trying to cash in on now. And I'm going to share anything that goes on between now and then with you. So hopefully I'll make a series of videos showing how much better I'm doing. But right now I'm not fully recovered. I'm still struggling to do this. But I'm so happy I can at least do this, because I couldn't do that 2 weeks ago. Couldn't get my hand up here like this 2 weeks ago. It was all I could do. And so what happens, it's like, how am I going to get my clothes on? Well, basic things. If I can't use this arm, how am I going to be able to grab something and use it? How am I going to be able to work? What am I going to do? So this is where I'm at now, May 5th, with the ups and downs of recovering from a stroke. And I'll share every minute I can with you. Hopefully someone else will get encouragement like I did from some of these other videos. Thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Mark Bertman, former physician, now living it. The life and struggles of somebody who's had a stroke. Hope I'll have more videos for you coming ahead.